This morning, I took Otto out early. Just the two of us. No particular plan, no destination, just the lead clipping onto his collar, the door opening, and the two of us stepping out into whatever the morning had decided to be. And this morning, it had decided to be grey. Not stormy, not dramatic, just grey. That particular Scottish grey that sits low and still over everything, like the sky has pulled a soft blanket over the world and isn't quite ready to let the day begin yet. The kind of morning that asks nothing of you. Otto didn't seem to mind. He never does, actually. He walked just slightly ahead of me, the way he always does, nose working overtime, completely absorbed in whatever invisible story the ground was telling him. And I found myself watching him and thinking, he has absolutely no idea what day it is. No idea whether it's Monday or Friday. No idea whether anything went wrong last week. No idea if there's anything to worry about. He just walked. Present, content, nose down, tail doing that gentle, slow wag. And the world around us was so quiet. No wind. Just the soft sound of our footsteps and the occasional distant call of something unseen in the trees. And somewhere in that stillness, I felt it. That thing that's hard to name. The sense of, oh, it's okay. Right now, in this exact moment, it's okay. I wanted to bring that feeling back and to share it with you. So here it is. So wherever you are right now, I want you to know that I'm glad you're here. Genuinely. Whether you're just waking up from a good or bad night's sleep, whether you've had a hard day or an ordinary one, whether your mind is busy or already beginning to slow, whether you feel okay or you're carrying something heavy that you haven't quite found the words for yet. Doesn't matter. You're here now, and that's enough. So let your body settle into wherever you are. Feel the surface beneath you, the mattress, the sofa, the cushions, the weight of the duvet if you have one pulled over you. And just let yourself be held by it. You don't have to hold yourself up right now. You can let go of that job. Just for now. Let go of that thought, just for now. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Hold it gently just for a moment, and then let it go. All of it. Again, breathe in, slowly, filling up all the way to the bottom of your lungs, and out. There is nowhere to be, nothing to solve. Nobody needs anything from you right now. This time is yours. And I'm right here with you. I want to take you somewhere now. Not far, just out of the noise and into the quiet. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a loch somewhere deep in the Scottish Highlands. It's evening. The kind of evening where the last of the light has softened everything to silver and grey and the faintest memory of blue. Oh look, the water in front of us is completely still. perfect mirror. You can see the hills reflected in it, those ancient dark shapes rising up from the shore, their tops lost in low cloud. There is no wind, not even a breath of it, just stillness. The kind of stillness that feels like the land itself is exhaling. The trees at the water's edge are dark and quiet. Somewhere far across the loch, a single light flickers. A cottage window, maybe? Someone else finding their way home for the night. But mostly it's just you. And the water. And the hills. And the enormous, patient sky above it all. So stand there for a moment. Let your shoulders drop. Let your face soften. You've walked a long way to get here. You may not have realized that's what you were doing, but you have, and you're here. Every difficult day, every moment of uncertainty, every night you lay awake wondering, all of it brought you here, to this stillness. And the stillness is glad you came. Take a look up at the hills. They've been here for around 400 million years. 400 million. There's something almost impossible to hold in your mind about that number. The glaciers came and went. Entire civilizations rose and disappeared. Languages were born and forgotten. Every war, every invention, every heartbreak, every triumph in human history. And these hills just stood. Quietly, solidly, stoically, unbothered. They watched the first humans arrive in Scotland and make their fires on the loch side. They watched the clans build their lives in the glens. They watched the storms roll in from the Atlantic and batter the coastline and then pass. And they will be standing just like this long after every worry you're carrying tonight has dissolved back into the earth it came from. Dissolved into nothing. I find that strangely comforting. Not because your worries don't matter. Of course they do. But because there is a perspective available to us, if we're willing to borrow it from the mountains for a moment, that says, this too shall pass. Not dismissively, not coldly, but with the deep, knowing patience of something that has watched a great deal of passing. The difficult morning, season, day you may be in right now, it's not the end of your story. It's not evidence that things cannot change. It's simply a season. And the Highlands, if they could speak, would say to you very gently, we've seen harder winters than yours, and every single one of them gave way to spring. Look down at the loch again. That perfect stillness, that perfect reflection. Here's something worth sitting with tonight. The reflection in the water isn't trying to be accurate. It isn't working hard to get the hills right. It isn't straining to mirror the sky correctly. It simply became still, and the reflection appeared, all by itself. There's something in that image that I keep coming back to, because we live in a world that tells us to try harder, push more, force the outcome, manufacture the result. And sometimes that may be right. But sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is become still. Because here's something the oldest wisdom traditions, from the mystics of the East to the monks who lived in silence in the Scottish hills, have always understood. You're not separate from life. No man is an island. You're not a small, isolated person fighting against the current of the universe. You are the current. You are life experiencing itself, feeling itself, resting itself. The same intelligence that grows the forest, that turns the tide, that knows exactly how to heal a cut on your skin without you even thinking about it once. That intelligence is not out there working independently of you. It is you. It always has been you. And that means you're not alone in this. You never were. The part of you that worries, that's real. I'm not dismissing it. But it's not the whole of you. It's just a ripple on the surface of the loch. Real, present, felt. But beneath it is something that has never once been disturbed. Something deep and still and unbroken. Something that was whole before this hard chapter began. Something that will be whole long after it ends. That is what you truly are. And right now, you're allowed to rest there, in the deep, still water, just below the ripples. Let's breathe together for a moment. Nice and slow. In through your nose. Let the breath fill you completely all the way down and out through your mouth. Soft and slow. Let everything go. Again, breathe in the cool Highland air, the smell of rain on old stone, of pine trees and peat, and the clean cold of the loch. Breathe out whatever you're holding in your body, the tension in your shoulders, the tightness in your chest, the low hum of anxiety that you've been carrying so long, you've almost stopped noticing it's there. Just let it go. It's served its purpose, but you don't need it here. One more breath in, all the way in, and just release it. Good. I'm going to say a few things to you now, not as instructions, not as commands, just as things I believe to be true about you, even though we've never met. Because I think sometimes we need to hear the truth from outside ourselves, especially on grey days, especially when the still, quiet mornings feel more like emptiness than peace. So, you're not behind. Whatever timeline you've been measuring yourself against, someone else's, or the one you imagined for yourself years ago, it was never the right measure. You're not too much, and you're not too little. You're the right amount of everything, for the right people, in the right moments. You don't need to earn rest. Rest is not a reward for productivity. It's a biological and spiritual necessity. You're allowed to simply rest because you're alive, and it's okay to be tired. What is meant for you is not deterred by delays. The things, the people, the opportunities, the version of life that belongs to you, they're not being given to someone else because you haven't moved fast enough. That's not how this works. Something larger than you fear is already moving quietly in your favour. I mean this one seriously, beneath the surface of your life, beneath the uncertainty and the waiting and the moments where it's hard to see how it could come good. Something is already working. The way roots grow through winter ground without any visible sign. The way the tide turns long before you can see it from the shore. The way your body heals itself in the night while you sleep without a single conscious thought from you. Life knows what it's doing, even when you can't see it. You're allowed to trust that. You're not alone. You're held. You are, right now, in this exact moment, enough. Let those words settle now. Don't analyze them. Don't test them against your doubts. Just let them fall like stones into still water. And watch the ripples move outward. Notice how your body feels right now. Heavier, maybe. Softer, maybe. The kind of heaviness that isn't burden, it's release. Let your eyes stay closed. Let your breathing find its own rhythm now without you directing it. Just breathe. The loch is still in front of you. The hills are still standing. The sky's doing whatever the sky does, and it requires nothing from you. You're safe. You're here. And here's enough. When we came home from our walk this morning, Otto shook himself off at the door, walked to his bed, turned around 2 or 3 times in that particular way that dogs do, and lay down. Within about 90 seconds he was sound asleep. No review of the walk, no wondering if he'd done it right, no anxiety about tomorrow's walk, just done, content, present, asleep. I stood there watching him for a moment and I thought, he never once questions whether he deserves to rest. He just rests. And I think there is something important in that, available to all of us, if we're willing to take it from a slightly muddy schnauzer on a grey Tuesday morning. You deserve to rest. Not because you've earned it, not because you've solved everything, not because you've finally become the version of yourself you think you're supposed to be, but simply because you're alive. And alive things rest. It's not a failure. It's not laziness. It's the most natural thing in the world. So I want to leave you with this. Something is working in your favour right now. Quietly, without drama, without you needing to watch it or understand it or even believe in it. The same way your heart beats while you sleep. The same way the seasons know their order. The same way the grey mornings always give way to something. Not always sun, sometimes just a slightly lighter shade of grey, but always something. You're not stuck even when it feels that way. You're not forgotten. You're not falling behind some invisible schedule that matters. You're a person living a life, doing your best in a world that is genuinely demanding. And that's worthy of rest. That's worthy of kindness. That's worthy of quiet, of unshakable belief that things can still unfold beautifully. Because they can. They really can. So let the loch, the stillness, the hills, Otto snoring softly, and something larger than your worry gently carry you through your day. Have a good one. You're in good hands.